Hey everybody, it's Judy Klock here, coming to you today for my weekly live tutorial. I am live today. Today I'm going to finish up my series on designer series paper with a 12 by 12 one sheet wonder. So today I'm just going to show you how to cut the 12 by 12 paper, and I made 9 cards out of this one sheet of paper. They're pretty basic because I didn't really embellish them a lot. I was kind of pressed for time because I'm really getting all my stuff ready for Stampalooza. I have to do like 96 make and take packets and just a whole bunch of other things. Plus we have the foster puppy. So that's sort of been cutting into my day because got to run him outside about every half an hour, but he is just so stinking cute and he is worth it. Ozzy. So he's upstairs right now with my husband, so I could do this. So let's go ahead and get started. And I chose the DSP, just I wanted to focus on that for the month of August. And little did I know that it was actually going to be on sale this month. It's 15% off on select DSPs through August 31st. So if there's any DSPs you've had your eye on, any designer series paper that you've had your eye on from the annual catalog, there's a good chance it's 15% off. So take a look, and I'll put my shopping link in the description below. So we've got here a piece of 12 by 12, and this was sort of inspired by a one sheet wonder that was done by the Border Buddies, Allison Solvin and Patsy Wagner. I made some modifications to what they've done to suit me. But they were sort of the inspiration for this. So the first piece I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece that is going to be 5 1/4 inches. All right. I'm going to do my big strips first. I'm going to do 5 1/4. And then I'm going to do 3 1/2. Okay. And that should leave us with one that is 3 3/4. So 3 3/4, and that's right. So now we've got our 3 strips. We've got a 5 1/4, a 3 1/2, and a 3 3/4. So I'm going to start with the 5 1/2 strip first. I'm going to cut 2 of them to just 4 inches. So we're going to have 2 standard 5 1/4 by 4. Okay, and on that last one, I'm going to cut this into 2 by 5 1/4. So you get a total of 4. Now you can either use these on 2 separate cards, or you can use them on one card, and I'll show you a little bit of each. So that was our first strip. It was 5 1/4 inch wide, and then we cut it into 4, like 3 inches, 3 sections of 4, and then we cut that last section down into 2-inch strips. And I will have all of these measurements on my blog post, which will be up sometime by the weekend. So all these measurements will be there. The next one is our 3 1/2 inch strip. And we're going to cut this to, the first one is going to be 3 1/2. So it's going to be a square, a 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 inch square. Then we're going to cut this one down to 3 by 4 1/4. And then we should have another one that is 3 by 4 1/4. Okay. So I might have cut that one. Oh, this is 3. Did I do that wrong? No, that was 4 1/4. This should be 4 1/4. That's 4 1/2. That's okay. It'll work. I wrote the numbers down wrong. So this one, I am actually going to cut on the diagonal. Okay. Like that. So now that will become the piece for one card. Now this one, you can either leave it whole or you can cut it into 3 pieces. So either, I'll show you a card with each of one. So let's put that one aside for now. And then our last strip, which was 3 1/4 inches, we're going to do one at 5 1/2. So a full length of our card. And then that should leave us with 2 that are going to be 3 1/4 inches each. So then we have 2 3 1/4 inch squares. Okay. All right. So let's go and see what we've done with all of our cards. So now let's go back. So this was our 3 1/4 inch, right? We had 3 1/4 inch, 3 1/2 inch. We'll put these in our little piles. And then we had our 4-inch, our 5 1/4 by 4-inch. So starting with our bigger ones, you can do something like this. So here's one. I took one. Now this was the same paper, but I embossed it, and then I kind of ran a wink of Stella over some of those flowers. It's kind of hard to see, and I apologize. StreamYard changed their platform, and I cannot, even though my phone was in landscape, it wouldn't show on StreamYard in landscape. So I need to troubleshoot that with them because I know this is very narrow, and I do apologize. So I have to finish this one, but that's one of them. This was a different DSP, but again, just the 5 1/4 by 4, and then these were pre-cut. I forget the name. I'll have to look up the name of this. I had it, now I can't remember it. But these are all pre-cut, like, you just punch them out of the sheet. Okay. Then we had the other one that we took. This was just, again, the plain old 5 1/4 by 4. Okay, so that was those pieces. And then we took the other one that we had. So for this one, I did 2 things. Oh my gosh, I can't. Oh, here. Of course, now I had this all nicely arranged, and now I can't find it. Hang on, I apologize. Oh, the best laid plans. Okay, so this was when you use those 2 strips, 2-inch by 5 1/4, to create 2 separate cards. Or you can do what I did, if I can find it, which I can't find. Oh, here it is. It fell down. No, that's not it. And there it is. Okay, so I took the 2 strips, and I used one with the flowers up and one with the dots up. And then I just took a piece of white and stamped my sentiment on that. So that was just another way to use those 2-inch by 5 1/4-inch strips. All right. That was that pile. Now we've got this one. So this was our 3.5-inch. This was 3.5 by 4 1/4, right? And we cut it on the diagonal. And this is just a fun way to use it. I put a piece of basic white, and I just kind of put those 2 triangles on there, and then just made stamped a sentiment in the middle of it. So that was kind of fun, and it's just very easy. And here's my other one. Okay, so again, just showing different designer series paper, but the same idea. Okay, and again, I do apologize for this terrible screen tonight. All right, so that was one. Then we had the 3.5 by 4 1/4. Okay, and that was done. And I really am struggling here today. I had all this organized. So this is where you use that piece hole. This is the 3.5 by 4 1/4, or you can cut it into 3 pieces and space them out on your cardstock. So again, the same size piece, it's just used in 2 different applications. All right. And then our last one was our 3.5 by 3.5. And I think we just did really simple. So this is just, again, this 3.5, just as it is. I didn't mount it on anything, but I did put some embossed cardstock behind it to kind of make it pop. And on this one, I did just kind of put it on a piece of cardstock, and then just very little bit of thanks, and then a little butterfly. So again, very simple cards, but that was the 3.5-inch wide pile. So then we come to our 3 1/4-inch pile. So we had one at 3 1/4 by 5.5, and 2 at 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So the first one is pretty easy to do. I just took oh my goodness. Okay. I just took that one piece, that 3 1/4 by 5.5, and I just kind of backed it on some cardstock and just put it right in the center of my card. So that's in portrait mode. Here it is in landscape mode. And this one, I just added another piece of cardstock across the middle just to kind of break it up. Okay, but again, just a very simple way to use that one piece of designer series paper. Then for our 3¼ by 3¼ I did two different things. So one was just mounted on a piece of cardstock and then just made it into a simple little card with birthday wishes. So that was one. And then I took the other one and I mounted it on pieces of cardstock. I cut 2-inch squares of cardstock and just flipped them over. I cut this. So I cut my square into 4 squares and just mounted them with a little die cut in the middle. So that was just very quick and very easy. Or I did make a pinwheel. This is a little too big. I didn't realize it at the time, but you can cut this again. Cut these squares into squares and then make the pinwheel card. I wouldn't recommend this. It's a little too big, at least on the sides. It's okay, not my favorite. But these were the two that I liked the best, using up those 3¼ inch by 3¼ inch squares. So that is it. It was just a very simple how to cut the 12 by 12 inch sheet so that you can get 8 or 9 cards, depending upon how you use the card stock. But I think I got pretty much 9 cards out of it, out of all of them. And that is it. So I'll leave a link down below in case you want to shop. There'll also be a link later on once I write the blog post. That will be there, and you can click on that and get all of the dimensions. I just can't speak this evening. I think having the screen off is just throwing me off. Well, that's it for me tonight, folks. Have a great evening. I will see you next week, and we'll be working with playful ghosts. I'm so excited to share that with you. Have a great one, everybody. Bye.